Hello, there's something I wanted to talk to you about, and it's been going on for like a few months, but I just haven't really known how to talk about it. And I've also been coming to terms with just accepting what is going on and not feeling like I've been going crazy. So it's probably coming up to like a year now actually since I first started to experience this, and I wanted to share it because it's been a really positive change, but it hasn't always felt that way. So most of you will know anyway, but at the start of last year I had a miscarriage, and I haven't spoken about it for a while for a couple of reasons. I didn't want people to come to my channel and feel down in the dumps talking about something so awful, but I was also really torn because it is so real for so many people, so many families. But I noticed a couple of things were happening when I opened up about my personal experience. I was getting some really bizarre requests. I had one person ask if they could send me baby clothes. Also, I don't know if it's obvious, but I can talk about this now without getting upset. Like, the past year has been wild, but I will go into more detail in this little 10-minute or so chat. I'll try and keep it short. And there was just some weird things landed into my inbox, and it's a tough one because I chose to share my story to try and help with the taboo-ness of the nature of the situation, but I was also opening myself up to some really strange, invasive, boundary crossing DMs, and I just couldn't hack it anymore, and I decided to just take down the content. Like, I took down the video, so I left it until like I think it was May, and I was just gradually feeling like I couldn't hold on any longer. I was struggling every single day. I felt numb. I was struggling to get out of bed. I had some really dark thoughts without going into too much detail, and I was struggling hard. So I rang my GP, we discussed some options. It was then that I went on a waiting list for some therapy via the NHS, and I also went on antidepressants, and I've been on them ever since. And I know Helen Anderson has spoken about this recently as well, but I feel very much with her on the whole mindset of antidepressants. I was so scared that it would mean something if I went on them, as my GP told me that I'd probably be waiting about like 6 or 7 months for therapy, which it was 7 months I think. And in between that time I started to explore other avenues, and I realised that a lot of the stuff I already do and this pull towards nature that I already have, I think it's been a lot more significant in my life throughout my entire life, but I just didn't know what it was. I didn't know that it was a certain sort of thing that I was drawn to. I just thought I really loved leaves and streams and trees. Spending time in the woods. The woods is my favourite space on earth. I love the forest, but I started to explore that. I've collected crystals since I was a child, but haven't really utilised them, so I was getting into crystals, meditation, and over the last few months I feel as though I just feel like I've maybe been listening to some and have been introduced and been brought to awareness of some sort of higher self. And the reason I haven't spoken about it before now is because I just haven't really known what to say or have the words, and also it does feel like a very personal journey. I'm still trying to find my way with it. It just feels like the thing that I'm struggling. The thing that I find most accurate to describe it as is I'm trying to listen to something. Does that resonate with any of you? I'm just trying to listen to something a bit higher, and I have to be very aware, but I can hear it. It's bizarre. Some sort of energy, vibrations, call it what you will, but I've been listening to something a little bit higher up, and it's made me reevaluate a whole ton of things, including being a lot more protective of my energy. And let me tell you, some people have not liked that, putting boundaries in place, you're always going to upset somebody, but it's for you and you know what boundaries you need to put in place. It's just really hard actually doing the boundary setting because you know that you're most likely going to upset somebody. That's why the boundaries are being put in place to begin with, because people are not understanding where they're crossing things, you know. This is probably going to go on a bit longer than 10 minutes, I apologise, but hopefully it's an interesting chat. But anyway, I've been trying to be a bit more protective of my energy, and I also came to the realisation a couple of weeks ago, so this is kind of a fresh thing. Since doing all of this, I have upset people on the internet. Not in real life. People have been very respectful in real life. My husband is a very spiritual being as well, so it's nice to kind of have him to bounce off, and he likes to listen to the things that I've told him as well, and I just feel no judgment whatsoever, and I'm just so blessed for my marriage. Parents have been great, my family's been great, I love them to bits. Online, however, when you set boundaries and you become protective of your energy, some people just don't like it. They feel the need to tell you that they don't like who you are now. They don't like where your work has been going. I've never been one of those people who feels the need to speak my opinion because I don't know, why as human beings don't we understand a bit more that words can hurt people? So if you don't like something that someone's done, as long as they're not hurting anybody or being disrespectful, like who cares? Just let them get on with it. If they've created a piece of artwork that you don't like, I think art comes from somewhere so deep, and I've started to find a whole new range of artists that I love to watch. Jim Reno, I hope I'm pronouncing their name properly, but I love them so much, and Purple Palace, I love their content as well. And I've just been finding some new people who I really relate to. But what I realised the other day was, let that energy stop here. And I realised the other day, like, rather than just go ranting and raving to somebody about something that someone might have said or done, or just let it stop. Energy changes and it's always travelling, always. But let it stop at you. Like, you don't have to channel it anywhere else. Energy, will just let it transform into something more positive. Don't let it remain negative and keep travelling. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's what's been on my mind. And I found it really draining. I have looked into the whole concept of spiritual awakening, and I think when you say spiritual awakening, it sounds so glamorous, it sounds very beautiful, and it sounds just this lovely thing, but it's not. A lot of the time it's not. And when I realised that it can be grief, it can be triggered by grief, it can be really frustrating and confusing, you're gonna feel lost. I have felt so lost over the last few months, but also so grounded. I don't know how I felt so lost but so grounded. And also, it's nobody else's decision. If you have been through the mill recently or at some point in your life, and you come out of that feeling like, you know what, not that I'm glad I'm not glad of my experience, that's not what I'm saying, but I also don't regret it. I'm so thankful for the journey that it has taken me on and that we continue to go on. I feel incredibly fortunate to have had that experience. I had a lot to learn. I've had a long way to go. There's still probably a long way to still go, but these realizations, just being able to get to a point where it doesn't hurt me like it did. And I know most of you are here for all of it. You're here for the journey. I'm gonna be honest, like, a lot of you have left some lovely messages over the last couple of months along the lines of, you have really come into your own and you have developed, and your work is now, like, you've got a solid style now. And style as an artist, we will probably talk about that in another video because it is a whole journey that never ends. But I know that a lot of you are all like-minded people. You appreciate that life changes us, it makes us evolve. However, I'd be lying if I said that choosing to be online, also, it's not always been a choice, if you get what I mean. Like, I have a business that without the internet would not exist. and when I took the plunge into self-employment, I don't think I fully understood that it's not always easy to then choose to take a break. I'm trying to take weekends off. When you're trying to listen to the higher self, a higher consciousness, it's really difficult when you're constantly being surrounded by people's opinions and telling you who you should be and what you should do. And it's something so alien to me. I don't understand the need or desire to tell somebody what I think like that, unless they've come to me and said, Ellis, what do you think? I let people get on with it. I do. Just do your own thing. As long as you're not hurting anybody or being disrespectful or causing chaos in the world. But yeah, it has been difficult, and I'm trying my best. I'm trying to muddle on through with this world of YouTube, but we know it has not been kind to this channel over the last few months, but we're trying, we're getting there. And I am so thankful for this journey, and I'm also glad that you are on it with me, and thank you for being here. Shall we get back to the studio vlog?
Thank you.